Democrat Julie Johnson of Texas is one of more than 60 new members of the U.S. House. She's also the first openly LGBTQ member of Congress in Texas history. Representative Johnson had a long career as a trial attorney and spent several years in the Texas House of Representatives. She talks here about what her experience means for her new job in Washington.
Well, I wanted to take what things I had been doing in the Texas level to the next level. So, for example, I focused a lot on health care in the Texas legislature, but state law health plans only govern 13% of state insured people. So at the federal level, we can make a much bigger impact on some of the issues I care about.
We read an article that said you've successfully worked across the aisle in Texas to get at least 40 bills that you co-sponsored or authored passed. How do you do that?
You know, I think you have to just recognize that we're all people and put some partisanship aside and understand that we're all here to represent our districts, but really take the time to get to know people, figure out areas that you have in common, issues that you can work on together, and not be so pure that if you can't agree on 100%, that I'm not going to work on anything. You know, an example of that is I passed a bill overhauling the Texas Medical Board. It was a significant thing in response to some patient safety issues and the doctor death cases that came out of Texas. And my Senate sponsor was the most conservative, anti-LGBT person in the building. And most people were stunned that we had a bill together. But, you know, he was willing to work with me on the medical board, and I needed a Senate partner, and we got it passed. And so you have to have a long and a short memory.
So take that concept of working across the aisle in Texas, bringing it to Washington, a place where you know as well as anybody that compromise can be difficult. Working together across the aisle can be really, really hard.
Yeah, well, you know, it's what I'm used to. I mean, Congress is not any more partisan than the Texas legislature, I can absolutely guarantee you. I mean, I've had 3 terms with a Republican trifecta, and I have it here. And, you know, I've met a lot of my Republican colleagues here, and just like in Texas, and I find that most people want government to work. They really do. They want to be productive. They want to work. They recognize that they have a lot of Democrats in their districts too, and they want to be reasonable. Yeah, there's exceptions to that. We certainly have extremists on both sides that don't want to really partner and aren't willing to collaborate. But my experience in talking to a lot of the freshmen and a lot of other members, I've been reaching out with other members of the Texas delegation and others to say, hey, you know, we can work on this farm subsidy bill, or we can work on transportation, or we can work on this healthcare piece of legislation. I mean, people in rural America, they need healthcare access just like people in urban America, and these representatives want to deliver that. And if I have some ideas that are good, then they're willing to talk to me.
In your first floor speech in the Congress, in the House, you gave a bit of a profile. Tell us more about yourself and your background and how you got here.
Well, I'm a longtime trial attorney. I've been practicing law in Texas for 33 years, representing people in their times of need and when they've had a problem, usually against a corporation or an insurance company or something along those lines. And then I'm married. My wife's a gastroenterologist, and so we have a split household on Republican, not Republican and Democrat, but lawyer and doctor, which I think in some contexts is more contentious. I have 2 sons. Nicholas and Benjamin, and they're 22 and 24 and working their way up through life, and just really excited to be here.
You are the first openly LGBTQ member representing Texas ever. What does that mean to you? What do you think it means to others?
Well, it's a huge honor, and it's something and a responsibility. You know, Texas has a significant LGBTQ population, and it's demonstrative that, you know, you can win in hard states, and we must win in hard states for our equality to ultimately be achieved. And also, just to put yourself out there. Don't shut yourself down because you think you can't win. You know, I did that to myself. I never thought I could win in Texas as an LGBTQ person, but here I am. I flipped a state house seat in 2018. I'm the first Democrat to hold it in 40 years. Now I'm a member of Congress, and I just think it's awesome.
As a longtime litigator, how does that inform what you will do here and how you will do it?
Well, you know, being a lawyer really does prepare you well to be a member of the legislative branch in the State House or in the United States Congress. You understand the language, you understand the bill process, the impact of statutes, how to read them, how to amend them. And so I feel like I have a leg up on many of my colleagues that don't have that background. And it's just really presents us well, I think.
One article I read suggested it's clear that you will stick your neck out to be an agent of change. You are here not for stardom, but to work on policy. Tell me more about the path ahead.
Well, I am a policy wonk. You know, I'm here to move the needle. I have plenty of other things I can be doing in my life other than this job. And so this job is hard. You know, the schedule's hard, the commute is hard. It's not an easy task. So if I'm going to be devoting this significant part of my life to this work, I want to be productive. I want to move the needle in a positive way on issues that I care about for the people I represent. And so I'm here to get it done and work hard to try to